Okay, so we have a document here. This is activity 321 start, and you can see in the first artboard we've got some stuff already set up, and I want you to follow along with me to get some practice formatting text there. And then artboard 2 is left blank for you to come up with your own idea and design. So I'm going to focus on artboard 1 first, and you'll see that this is editable text here. So if I take my type tool and I select it, I can actually change the text. So I'm going to undo that. So that's fine, but sometimes if text is left editable, you cannot do certain things to it. So it's not as editable as shapes. So I want this text to become shapes so that I can edit it in a specific way. So I'm going to right click on the text and choose create. Whoops, let me do that again. Right click on the text, choose create outlines. I could also go to type, create outlines. What that does is it turns the text into shapes, compound shapes. So I'm going to double click on the word to isolate it from everything else. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to do some editing here. So I'm going to switch to my direct selection tool, and I'm going to select the top first shaft of the U and use shift up arrow to move it so that that U kind of blends in with the city skyline. And the same on this side, but not quite the same distance. Then the bottom of the R, just this side of the R down to there. And then for the N, I'm going to take this side of the N and move it up to the top of the page, and then just fit my page in. And the bottom part of the N, whoops, messed that up. Bottom part of the N, I'm going to take all the way down to the bottom of the photo. So now I have customized that word in a way that I couldn't do if it was still text. Now I want to colorize this. Now you haven't covered color or gradients or anything like that yet. So what I've done is I've created a graphic style for you. So if you go to your graphic styles panel and you hover over this one, you'll see it says Mike's graphic style. I just want you to drag that graphic style and drop it onto each letter. You will learn all about styles and appearances and fills and strokes in a later learning unit. But at the moment we're just colorizing this. Okay, and then double click away to exit isolation mode. Right, so the next thing is I want to focus on this line here, this S-shaped line. So I'm going to double click on it to isolate it. And then I'm going to take my type tool, hold it down, and switch to type on a path. I'm going to go to the head of that line and click. Okay, and I'm just going to zoom in here, and I'm going to type surf sand sun sizzle. And then Command or Control A to select that text, and now I want to format it. So I'm going to choose Trebuchet MS. If you don't have that font, choose another font that you do have. I'm going to set the size up to let's go to 30, and I'm going to change the tracking so that it fits into that line. So my value here is 290. Yours might be slightly different. It depends on what font you use. And then I'm going to change the fill color to white. Okay. And double click away. And now I've got my text here. I just think the text is maybe a little bit too close to this box here, so I'm going to select it. I'm going to go to type on a path, type on a path options, and choose flip and OK. So the text is now flipped onto the other side of that path. Alright, so that's now my type on a path. Now I want to put some text in these shapes. So I'm going to click away, and I'm going to go to File, Place, and you will be supplied with this file here. It's a rich text format document, an RTF. It's called Activity 321 Text. Click on it and place, and it comes up with this dialog box. I want you to uncheck the first 3 items and check the last one. We want to remove all text formatting from this text. Press OK, and then go to this box here, and just to the top, when you see it say path, click, and that text will then go into that path. Now if I take my selection tool, you can see that this text is overset because of this little red plus here. So I'm going to click on that red plus, and what that does is it loads the excess text onto my cursor, and then I'm going to go to the top of the next frame. When I see at the top here path or intersection or whatever, I'm going to click, and that then threads this text into the next box. So now I'm going to go back to my type tool, click inside this text and press Command or Control A to select all the text, including the overset text. And now I can format that. So I'm going to go with Trebuchet MS, and let's go with 8 points with a leading of 10 points, and change the color to white. And then what I want to do is just the first paragraph, I want that to be the deck, in other words the kind of explanation of the story. So I'm just going to triple click to select the first paragraph. I'm going to set the font size up to 12 and the leading to 14. Okay, and also under paragraph, the space after to, let's set it to 6 points. Alright, so now we've got nicely formatted text. Looks quite funky, but the problem is the text is touching this photo. So we're going to take the photo, which is in its own shape, so that's clipped into that shape, and we're going to go to Object, Text Wrap, Make. Alright, and now my text is overset again, so I'm going to take my type tool and I'm just going to select everything that's not the deck. So I'm just holding down Shift and using my down arrow to go and select everything, and I'm just going to adjust the leading a little bit. Let's go down there. Let's see what we get. 10. Okay, 10 is too much. Maybe 9. Maybe 9.5. Okay, that's perfect. 9.5. Alright, so that's just a little exercise to show you what you can do with text to get creative and make something interesting. So what I want you to do with Artboard 2 is to create your own kind of funky text flyer. Let's say that this is a flyer. It can be about your city, or it could even be about a subject that you enjoy, like let's say street art or skateboarding or surfing or something like that. And all that I want you to do is to create text and imaginatively work it so that you have a nice interesting flyer with expressive text in it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and see you next time.